Actually, no. I really limit what he can have access to. He just got an iPad for Christmas.
I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time.
Hey, what's up, fam? You won't believe the drama going down in the Knowles family. So, Solange Knowles is finally breaking her silence about her mom, Tina Knowles' divorce from Richard Lawson, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. Strap in, because I'm about to expose some shocking details that'll leave you shook. Let's dive into the tea, shall we? So, rumor has it that Richard was getting a little too comfortable in Tina's life, and Solange had to step in and keep him in line. Can you believe it? But wait, it gets even juicier. According to Solange, the marriage hit the rocks because they found out Richard was using her mom. I mean, seriously, who would do such a thing? The messy divorce has caused quite a stir in the Knowles family, and we thought it would be a smooth ride, but oh boy, were we wrong. The drama levels were off the charts, and it seems like this marriage was a hot mess. If Solange and Beyonce were supporting the divorce, you know it had to be toxic as F. I can't even imagine the chaos behind closed doors. Initially, the sisters were all for their mom finding love again after her tumultuous marriage with their dad, Matthew Knowles. That relationship had its fair share of ups and downs before finally ending in divorce back in 2011. So when Richard came along right after Tina's divorce announcement, it's no wonder Solange raised an eyebrow. Now, let's talk about Tina Knowles' status as a high-value woman. She's the mother of the queen herself, Beyonce, and her sister Solange. Not to mention, she's Jay-Z's mother-in-law. With such fame and fortune surrounding her, it's no surprise that Tina would attract some opportunistic suitors looking for a piece of the spotlight. So, you can understand why Solange was skeptical of Richard's intentions, right? But here's the twist. Richard had been a family friend for years, way before any romance with Tina bloomed. So, in a surprising turn of events, Solange put her trust in him completely. Who saw that coming? Oh, buckle up, folks, because the drama train ain't stopping yet. So get this. Richard and Tina were actually friends way before Solange and Beyonce came into the picture. Can you believe it? I mean, talk about a long history of entanglement. Back in the day, when Tina was pregnant with Queen Bee herself, her bestie Gwen happens to be Richard's younger sister. And that's how these two first crossed paths. Now, here comes the jaw dropper. Richard was immediately drawn to Tina even though she was married and expecting. I know, kind of weird, right? But hey, I guess some people are into that sort of thing. And wait, there's more. Richard was also married himself at the time and had a daughter of his own. Despite all this, he couldn't resist making moves on Tina. I mean, talk about some complicated entanglements going on. But Tina, being the loyal wife she was, refused his advances and stayed faithful to her then husband. Even after Richard's divorce in the 90s, he couldn't shake off his feelings for Tina, but she wasn't having any of it and firmly kept him in the friend zone. Gotta give her credit for staying strong in the face of all that attention. Now, here's where things get really messy. Tina's own marriage to Matthew was far from perfect. While she stayed loyal to him, he wasn't returning the favor. Word on the streets is that he had been cheating on her for years. Can you believe that? Sneaking around with other women while Tina was busy building the empire that made the entire family famous. And guess what? He was even Beyonce's manager, which gave him access to loads of money, leading to accusations of misappropriation and stealing from her. Ouch. Despite all this betrayal, Tina tried to give her marriage another shot, but you know what they say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Matthew went ahead and got another woman pregnant, and that was the final straw for Tina. She filed for divorce in 2011, and that's when Richard swooped in to be her shoulder to lean on. He had been waiting in the friend zone for more than 30 years, and now he saw his chance to finally make a move. But hold up, it wasn't that easy. Tina wasn't all that interested in jumping into another relationship. It took Richard 2 more years of persistent pursuit to convince her that they could be more than just friends. And finally, after about 32 years of being buddies, they decided to give dating a shot. Wow, this love story just keeps getting crazier, y'all. So, turns out Solange and the rest of the Knowles family were quick to embrace Richard when he and Tina started dating. And why is that, you ask? Well, they had known him practically all their lives. Richard was a close friend of Tina's even before they hit the fame jackpot. You see, they go way back to the time when Tina and the rest of the Knowles crew had no clue they were going to be megastars. So Solange knew Richard way before fame and money entered the picture. That's why she trusted him and believed he'd be a better fit for her mom than other suitors who might have been after Tina's fortune and the Knowles' fame. Once Richard and Tina started dating, he was a pro at winning everyone over, especially Tina's kids. He knew how much Tina cared for her children, so he made sure to include them in the relationship. They all spent a lot of time together making their bond stronger and forming one big blended family. Isn't that adorable? But wait, here comes the cutest part. It was Tina's granddaughter, the iconic Blue Ivy Carter, who brought up the idea of Richard proposing to Tina. Can you believe it? They were at a family event, and little Blue, who was just a toddler at the time, innocently asked Richard when he and Tina were going to tie the knot. Smart cookie, that Blue Ivy. Richard saw an opportunity and seized it like a pro. He asked for Blue's permission to propose to Tina, and she gave her adorable blessing. But that wasn't enough for Richard. He knew how much Tina's daughters meant to her, so he made sure to ask for their approval too before popping the big question. That's some serious dedication right there. In an interview, he said, "I called her children and I asked for her hand in marriage from them. I thought that was important because I knew that it didn't stand a chance unless they were on board. I was fortunate enough that they were completely on board and just over the top excited about it." But hold on, fam, things started to change for Solange. As time went on, she began to have some doubts about Richard's true intentions. She couldn't shake off the feeling that he might have been after the money and fame all along. Oh boy, the plot thickens. Solange confessed that her mom Tina can be a bit difficult to handle at times. I mean, we all have our moments, right? But there was this one instance when Tina embarrassed Richard on camera telling him he wasn't perfect. Yikes, talk about an awkward moment. Whoa, hold up, y'all. This tea just got scalding hot. So, according to Solange, she believes that Richard isn't exactly the saint he claims to be. Oh no, she thinks he's been using her mom Tina just like he may have used his first wife, Denise Gordy. And guess what? Denise Gordy's uncle happens to be the founder of Motown Records. You know, that legendary record label that used to rule the music scene back in the day? Solange thinks Richard rode on Denise's connections to kickstart his Hollywood career. Sneaky, right? But wait, there's more. She also suspects that he used her mom for fame and connections. While he might have genuinely loved Tina at first, Solange believes that his true intentions slowly changed over the years, and that's not cool. Tina, being the smart and strong woman she is, figured out what was going on. She wasn't about to stick around in a marriage where she was being used and not truly loved. So she took matters into her own hands and officially filed for divorce, putting an end to the whole mess. Now the internet's buzzing with mixed feelings about Solange's revelations. Some people are totally on her side, while others are skeptical, saying things like, "This is a prime example of you think you want something until you get it, and when you get it, you realize I don't want it no more." This is what happens when you get with marry your rebound. The red flags were ignored on both ends. And, in my opinion, there may be legitimate reasons why, but Tina does come across as an extremely hardened person. I would also say that I get disrespectful and rude vibes from Tina. On my other hand, what I've observed from Richard during interviews and other public appearances is a gentleman who comes across as genuine, kind, and loving. Whew! I don't know about you, but my head is spinning from all this gossip. If you're living for the tea I just spilled, hit that like button and show some love. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on the latest celebrity scandals. And hey, before you leave, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this tangled web of relationships. Till next time, it's your girl signing off. Stay tuned for more shocking updates. Peace out.